live, and
okay, Google.
That's how this is going.
Play Perfect Timing by Nipsey Hussle on Spotify. We got to have a pre-show dance party.
Fine. We'll bring up the banner. Thank you.
I am starting to disagree with the fact that I voted for this dance party because now I'm on live.
Okay, Google, turn the volume up to 6.
All right. Look, as far as you're sitting here talking math, we're running like 6 minutes late, and you guys are sitting here, you're like, I love math. Here's some math for you.
Okay, Google, stop the music.
I have 2 feet, you have 1 ass.
I do. More comes out my ass than your feet, though.
And it's just, I'm like, and if you don't get this show going, I know where the foot's going to go.
Well, in the words of the late, great Nipsey Hussle, sometimes perfect timing feels like I'm too late. I'm Alex McDowell, owner and founder of A3 Innovation and partner at Real Impact Solution. And this grumpy old curmudgeon over here is...
You know, I am Lee Rowley, not... as anybody would guess, the Lee Rowley who is the Conservative MP of East Derbyshire in London. That guy is not.
There's another Lee Rowley?
There is another Lee Rowley.
Oh, there is.
And it just drives me nuts. But first of all, he won't accept my friend request on any of the social networks. He won't have anything. He won't come on the show. Nothing. I'm like, if you're going to try to steal my thunder, at least make an appearance on the show and say, ha ha. Is that so hard?
Apparently it is when you're the
It is, but I'm not that Lee Rowley. I am the Lee Rowley who is here to, along with you, Alex McDowell, edutain your face off day after day after day. And that's not anything that an MP of East, whatever the heck it is, could ever say. So,
and you know what else they can't say? Thank you very much to our lovely guest today, the one and only Hannah Catus, who we have with us up here and ready to bow tie up. Hannah, the floor is yours for a brief introduction.
Hi, I'm Hannah from Belize. We're located in Central America for everyone that doesn't know, and we're the only English-speaking country in Central America.
Wow. And for those of you Americans who just thought there's North America and South America, Hannah, please kindly explain where Central America is.
In the very middle.
You heard it here, folks. There is something in between North and South America, and it is Central.
I gotta say it. It's unbelievable.
No, it's unbelievable.
Yes.
I got the lead pun in there. You guys know what time it is. It's time to stop the show. And let's say hello to some of our lovely audience members out here. We have jumping in here, Mr. Charlie Electric Bolt Powers. Hey, Charlie, how's it going, man? Love the emojis in your name. Carla, hello, everybody. Carla, bow tie up veteran now. How's it going, Carla? Thank you, as always, for loaning Lee to me for an hour. Chris Dickman saying happy Friday. Hey, Chris, you're tremendous. And thank you for joining us. Charlie with a couple of other awesome comments, including Middle America ? See, about 30 seconds ago, we'll walk through the whole thing. And for those who don't know, make sure to edutain your friends about fun fact that there is in Central America. It's awesome.
Yes, there is.
And about this show. Edutain them about that, too. We want more eyeballs.
We do. More eyeballs, more people, more inspiration.
We are. And we're actually bringing musical guests to the show starting next week. We'll talk about that later, but Lee's
very excited.
I'm extraordinarily excited about this. I've been wanting to do it for months, and I just thought I'd throw that out there, just to wreck everybody's concentration before we move on. So, Hannah.
Yeah.
So, tell us about your love of gurus.
Wow, we're jumping into the rant topics already. I'm sorry, guys. I tried to protect you, but I guess we're gonna jump right into it.
I see no reason to dilly-dally. We're not daffodils.
Hannah's gonna be on a warpath.
I think today's definitely opposite day, because no, I do not like people. I don't hate it, but I just don't like people that parade themselves as gurus or experts or thought leaders. And my reason for that, I feel that learning is a continual experience. So, I mean, we never stop learning unless, like, you're really arrogant, and other words I probably can't think of at the moment.
See, I always like to say, if you don't grow, you gotta go. When you stop learning,
I like
you stop
that.
growing, you're stopping moving, and everybody else is moving forward, and you're not. So don't get stuck in those ways, guys. It's just a bad practice. Now, let's talk a little bit just about what the different things people are calling themselves nowadays. We've got on the bottom ticker, everybody's favorite, gurus, experts, and change makers. What's the difference? And then you've got thought leaders. And Hannah, from what I understand, you did a little pre-bow tie up preparation here. Can you run down the stats of thought leaders, experts, and gurus on LinkedIn and what the numbers look like?
Okay, so for experts, there's over 6,130,000 on LinkedIn.
6.1 million experts.
Yes, 6.1 million experts. There are 1.1 million thought leaders. And there are over 630,000 gurus.
Okay, so that means that 2 gurus approximately equal 1 thought leader, and 6 thought leaders approximately equal 1 expert. So you are going to be hard pressed to find about 1 out of every 10 experts might define themselves as a guru. The ratio is 1 to 10. I don't know. I like math, guys. Give me a break.
Yes.
Yeah, so I've always found that interesting. Even from like the time that I first became active on LinkedIn, which was like 6 months ago, and I had a hard time deciding what I was gonna put in my headline and like what I was gonna write in my summary. And so, you know, I looked at other profiles and everyone was like expert this and expert that, and I'm like, so like in the body of my summary, I'm like, among all the experts on here, I'm an expert at being me.
That's all it takes, man. Being authentically you, because there's nobody else. There are 0 other Hannahs. There's another Lee apparently, but no other Hannahs. So we're good.
I'm pretty sure there are more Hannahs.
Hannah Montana maybe, but nobody knows who she is.
Yep. Let's not go there. We still have the pictures.
I guess all of my millennial references aren't going to catch up. And
that was
actually
coming in like a wrecking ball
so
to remove.
Fun.
Sure.
A wrecking ball.
We have this lovely picture that Lee had me Photoshop for him years ago of, you know, the Miley Cyrus wrecking ball video.
Mm-hmm.
You know, where she's like naked on the swing like that.
Yeah.
Well, it's Lee instead of Miley. It's Miley coming in like a wrecking ball, where we got Lee's face photoshopped in there. And I have to say, they look tremendous. I can totally get them out of my email. And we'll never delete those precious moments. But
that's hilarious.
Hilarious. Oh man, I was trying to do a Lee pun in there.
No. Just let it go.
Yeah, I'm absolutely ridiculous.
Fine.
Be careful, like Lee's frame might just bounce you out of the way.
He'll do something.
And there he did it.
That always makes me queasy when you do that.
Charlie's demanding a picture. Tell you guys what, if you get 3, if I get 3 comments, say show us my Lee, I'll drop it and upload it and show all of you guys.
Oh, for real? You can find it that fast?
Just 3. Oh, dude, I'm in tech for a reason. This is the business that I am in. Finding and retaining data. I'm a data geek, you know?
Okay.
Anyways, back to your regularly scheduled interruption. I'm very easily distractible, obviously. Anyways, let's stop the show and say hello to a couple of our lovely audience members joining us. We've got Damon joining us saying if they have to tell you they are probably not. And I would change that probably to definitely. Anybody who leads with, I am an expert. I'm like, okay, so you've done it twice. Good to know. I'll stay away. Next. Jeff Adams jumping in. And hey, Jeff, how's it going, man? Hope you're having a wonderful day. We've also got, oh boy, we've got a lot of comments now. All right, got a couple of hellos to say. Hey, guys, hope you're all doing wonderful. Sam, thank you so much for jumping in here. And she said, love seeing Hannah on here. So that's great. Kudos to you, Hannah, for doing it. Josh Kruger jumping in. Welcome to the show, brother. Hope you're having a great day. Saying, wanted to chime in quickly to note that Lee has the best background and also the best bow tie in show, just being honest. Oh, I think we can all agree on that. This guy is the example. You said point to my door. It's not my door. My door is the audience. My desk is the Lee. So Lee over here is the fine example of bow ties for everyone around the world and backgrounds with his lovely, lovely green screen. We've also got Sancto Waitley jumping in, saying, hi, Hannah. Love seeing my island sister. And hey, thank you so much for jumping in. Show us my Lee. That's two. We got two my Lees.
Got two. Guys. Got two.
Yes, one more my Lee.
Fun fact, Chris Angel complimented this very bow tie.
Wow, that's a mind freak.
Yes. We met him last time we were in Las Vegas, and he was like, hey, man, cool bow tie.
Cool.
And that was, yeah, that's cool. And then we took our picture and went on with the thing. It was awesome.
That was cool. Did you like lean up and give him a kiss on the cheek? I bet that would have really thrown him off.
No, he didn't smell so great. So I didn't. Oh wait, I should. I'm sorry. Let's say that. No, he was a super cool guy. Really.
Okay.
He was pretty cool.
3 my Lees, by the way.
Moving right along.
If we get 5, I will show you all 3 pictures of it.
Oh, okay.
So
that's very Vegas of you. One wager in the middle of the bet. Yeah, okay.
We're going to get 1 Miley at the end of the show, which to remind you guys, it's Miley Cyrus Wrecking Ball with a nude, not nude, obviously, but Lee in his face on the Wrecking Ball images. It's hilarious. And I've got 3 of them. So, yes, I'd love to see 2 more comments in there saying, show us my Lee as we finish up.
Are PG just for the LinkedIn crowd who might be checking this out later.
Yeah, they're completely PG. They're awesome. You guys cannot wait to see this because he even went through and he made faces for them. Like it was like he really got into it. So it was great.
Why
Top 10
do we do this to these people? All right. So let's get back to something halfway serious. What the heck were you guys talking about before?
We're talking about gurus, experts, and change makers. And Hannah went through and ran the numbers. So on LinkedIn, 6.1 million accounts identify themselves as experts. 1.1 million accounts identify themselves as thought leaders. And then 630,000 identify themselves as gurus. And if any of you out there watching have one of these things in your title, I would absolutely love for you to drop in the comments, what the heck? Drop in these comments over here and tell us why. Because you're looking at 3 people who definitely do not think that those things are the best things to put in your LinkedIn headline. So let's talk about some of the issues we have with gurus. What defines a guru? What do you see a guru as in your eyes, Hannah and Lee?
Go for it, Lee.
Oh,
you've ran into a lot of them. You've worked with a lot of them too, man.
That's out of bounds. Wow. Just toss it right over at me. Okay. Why would you want to call yourself an expert? I don't really understand the whole point of it anyway. I mean, it's you demonstrate expertise by what you do, not by what you say. And nobody believes anybody anyway these days. I mean, we've all seen, we're the experts. In fact, I remember, one LinkedIn private message that it actually started with all caps. We are experts, followed by 8 experts, exclamation marks at the yin yang. And it was just like, really, this is supposed to impress me. Thank you so much for letting me know right up front that you know what's best for me. And that's, I think that's what really bugs me about the whole expert thing is that, when you say I'm an expert, you're saying it's a very prescriptive driven approach as opposed to a diagnostic approach, finding out what people need and then figuring out how to provide that for them.
You mean doctors don't go around saying, I'm an expert at pediatric care?
Right?
No, they're like, I'm a pediatric physician.
Right.
But I'm wondering too if it's a thing where over time the meaning of the word has been lost, because expert means someone who has a comprehensive and authoritative knowledge of a skill in a particular area. So I mean, it is true there are many people with years of experience and educational qualifications to back up that experience that would be considered experts. But I think that over time we've overused the word and it's sort of lost its authentic meaning. So now we don't really bat an eye when someone says, I'm an expert.
Or we bat the stink eye at them.
Yeah.
We're like,
so it's the overuse of it really that rankles you, and I can completely understand that, because guru, expert, it's all been overused. It's all just corporate blab right now. I mean, and if you're using words that are flab because they become meaningless because we've seen them so many times, then why are we to think that you're any different or any better than the next guy?
If I can shake a cereal box, like, one of those crossword puzzles, and pull out your tagline on LinkedIn, you're probably about as original as that cereal box design. And that's not a compliment.
Yes. And about as appetizing as the box, too.
Oh, yes. But yet you're still forcing your cardboard down other people's throats. I think the one thing that I love about everybody who is this self-proclaimed guru expert is all the cold messages they send, too. They're an expert, so they want to tell you just how great they are, and it's all about them. That's one thing that I notice a lot of. They have no regard whatsoever for anybody else and anyone else's knowledge. A true expert knows that there are other people out there that are better than them, that there are people out there that know more than them, and that they still have a lot to learn, because no matter how much you know, you will always be able to grow, you will always be able to develop, and you will always be able to learn more. And when you stop that pursuit of knowledge and you just call yourself, hey, I'm an expert, I'm the authority up here, you are no longer even serving your expertise of any value.
Yeah. It's like a few weeks ago, I went to this webinar. Great webinar, by the way. It was about negotiation, and it was hosted by Dan Oblinger and Alan Sang. I hope I'm pronouncing your surname right, Alan, if you're listening. Anyway, so of the many things that were shared in that webinar, Alan said mastery is the pursuit of excellence. And I really liked that. And then it kind of made me think about all these people calling themselves experts and thought leaders and all of that. Because, I mean, if you're looking at the true meaning of the word, if you are considered an expert, then you will know that you have to continually improve in your profession, your craft, your career, whatever it is, the way you serve others.
An expert has forgotten more about something than you will ever learn. And they are learning something new every day, and they're not telling you about it because they're too busy learning it and putting it into practice.
That's true. I feel like another thing, too, is that other people will tell you about, like, true experts, other people will tell you about them. Other people will be talking about how great they are and how good they are at what they do. Other people will be parading their names all over. They won't be the ones doing that.
You mean I can't just self-proclaim to the mountaintops that I am the absolute authority? and people just come over and start following me in the masses? That's not how I get a cult following? Sure. You've got to be kidding me, Hannah. Because that was my next plan. I was about to don on a robe, get a stone tablet or two, and just head on up to the mountain and start yelling. It's about how useful your LinkedIn approach is, guys. You're not getting heard because you don't care about them. People follow you because you follow them, because you care about them. People want to be engaged. They want to be interacted with. They want to feel like somebody actually cares about them and their needs, that they can be empowered. Because we all live in our own world, but ultimately, we're the only person in it. Everybody else is in their own world. And if we can't enter their world in a way that is a partner and as an equal, then you will never, ever have real connections.
That's true.
But I will get off of my soapbox. And Lee, let's talk a little bit about gurus. And I know this is one of your favorites. So we've got some cool comments coming in from the audience that we'll highlight. And thank you all for all the interaction. Keep it coming. We love seeing your comments. And spout off anything cool, we will definitely highlight during the show. Or if you just say, yo, Alex, shout me out. I got you. So Charlie's saying he doesn't want to see the pictures now, probably because they're PG. I understand.
Oh, yeah.
Chris says guru is an influential teacher or popular expert, like a management guru. Yeah, I agree. That's what they're defined as. But a lot of people just call themselves gurus with no popularity because they think that's going to make them into a guru. Gary Vee is... I'm sure he didn't start off calling himself a guru. And depending on who you are, you may or may not even agree with a lot of his practices. So the gurus are definitely just those people who have a really popular cult following that can say, hey, if you... never mind, that's a really inappropriate example. If you do this, the ridiculous thing, people will listen to them just because of their name. So Lee, what are your thoughts on it?
I just don't like it. I think that's anything like that is something you earn from other people. I mean, it's like calling yourself king. It just doesn't really work.
Yeah. King never has to tell
from
everyone.
The mandate to the mass. It's not from some farcical aquatic ceremony. It's the whole thing is you just don't get to call yourself that. You don't get to call yourself. I remember I love there's one author. I don't read much fiction, but there's an author named Christopher Moore, and throughout several of his novels, he has a recurring character who's referred to as the Emperor of San Francisco, and he's a crazy homeless guy with a dog that he talks to, and he thinks the dog talks back, and he's absolutely barking mad, and he just wanders the streets interacting with the other characters, but he thinks he's the Emperor of friggin' San Francisco. And that his dog is the sheriff and whatever. And so that's what it reminds me of when I see somebody calling himself, oh, I'm the king of this, I'm the guru of this, I'm the emperor of that, whatever. Shut up. Let somebody else define what you are. Let somebody else call you an expert, and that's going to mean 1,000 times more.
Can I be an emperor of technology?
Sure.
Well, people look at me weird. I've never seen anyone call themselves a freaking emperor before.
I am the emperor of Neptune.
Yes. We just put completely unrelated headlines and see what people think. That's our next social experiment, so watch out for it.
Bow to me.
I bet people would, honestly. We've got enough people interacting that we've probably got a couple that are like, all right, screw it.
Well, I want to get on this next comment,
there are 23,000 results when you search emperor on LinkedIn.
23,000 emperors? No way! I didn't even know that many existed.
That's a fleet of emperors. That's a lot.
Some of them, emperor is in the company name.
Oh. Ooh, so you started an organization filled with emperors. Now that I can get behind. You're like the king emperor. That gives CEO a whole new meaning. I love this conversation, by the way. I totally I strive to be an emperor one day. Now, when you talk about thought leaders, change makers, and all the other new and innovative ways we're describing ourselves as saying, hey, I have a voice and I just discovered it. What do you guys think on that topic? Hannah?
Well, change maker was new to me. I actually had to look that one up because I have not been paying attention much. So
what do you think about it?
That's
what are your initial thoughts? Me.
My initial thoughts on that are, okay, so I guess this person is committed to doing something that's different, that's outside the norm. Like, those are my initial thoughts. I won't necessarily think of the person as an authority in his or her field.
They're just coming through and making change.
Yeah, that's my initial thoughts on it. But then I looked up the meaning, and it means it's someone that is taking creative action to solve a social problem. So that, I think, is cool. And if that's the case, then I feel that true change makers would be more concerned with talking about the change that they're making instead of referring to themselves as change makers.
I agree. It's just like there's so many ways to try to describe yourselves, and we're all fighting to find that way. How do we express ourselves in a way that's going to resonate? You know, you can't call yourself an expert, but you want people to understand that you have this knowledge to be able to help them solve their problem. So as two copywriters, which I'm so thrilled that we have both of you guys here in one room, how can you creatively brand yourself as an authority without being an arrogant asshat?
Well, as you all know, I'm currently enrolled in Copy Brand U. Let me see. No, this way, pointing at Lee.
Yeah.
Am I pointing at Lee?
Done the arrow trend.
Am I pointing at Lee?
Yes,
Yeah, you are. Perfect.
Oh, okay.
Well done.
Absolutely.
It's a pity my hand couldn't like go up into his screen.
How did you get it like right the first time? I have so much trouble with it. I'm like, oh, hey, Lee, as I point, well, actually pointed at him, but whatever. Besides the point, regularly scheduled interruption over. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know, one of the things that I really liked, I'm not even like completely through Copy Brand New, but one of the things I really liked about that is that it really pointed out to the fact that your solution, what you say about your solution, has to intersect with your audience's your target market's problem, and you need to be telling them that in a way that they understand.
So oh, I'm sorry, Hannah, go ahead.
Yeah, so I mean, if you're talking to quirky people like me and Lee, then I mean, you gotta have a lot of sarcasm and humor in what you write.
That is for sure true. Boring copy just doesn't work for people like us.
So Lee, then walk me through as a copywriter. I know we transitioned and I'll have to take her here in a minute. So as a copywriter who is, you coach these other copywriters on how to authentically connect with their audience. How do you even know who needs the copywriter? I mean, how would you know as a chief emperor of the office, as Charlie put it? Love it, by the way. How would you, as the chief emperor of the office, know that you need to get a copywriter, and how would you know that they can even capture your voice and captivate your audience? Well,
you know, if you think you can write your own copy and you know it's not working, then obviously you need some help, and that can come in a couple forms. Realistically, what I always say that I'm the second best copywriter you could ever hire, and you're the first. That meaning that if it's possible for me to coach you through the process of writing your own copy, then it's kind of a, teach a man to fish sort of thing. And it works out so much better because it's your essence, it's your vibe coming through in those words, which is something that's very, very difficult for even a seasoned copywriter to replicate. I mean, we write copy that really, really works, but it's, there are always going to be those clients who are going to be like, yeah, I don't feel like this is exactly me. And that's because for those clients, it never could be really unless they were writing it themselves. For those people, I really recommend having a veteran copywriter coach you through the process of writing your own messaging. And if you don't have time for that, or you don't want to go through that process, and because it is a very deep process, then obviously handing it off to somebody who knows what they're doing. I think that as far as choosing a copywriter, the fact whether or not they have the passion for your project is more important than whether they've worked in your niche or your industry before. That's so important because if a copywriter is just kind of about your project, they're going to give you the copy that's going to give you the results. Whereas somebody who's is excited about what you're doing and wants to be a part of it, you can see that. So I always say, get your copywriter on a Zoom call or whatever you use. Actually talk to them face to face. Get a sense of whether they have passion for your project or not, because sometimes they're just taking it for the money. I've done it. We've all done it, whether we're willing to admit it or not. But if you really see that spark in your copywriter's eye, that's a really good sign that you're going to have a great relationship and your copy is going to be on point when it comes to getting it in front of your readers and having them resonate with it.
So then what would you say? No, Hannah, please go ahead. You're the other copywriter here.
I really like how Lee put that, because I remember, I don't know if you're gonna remember this, Lee, but a few months ago I asked you, as a copywriter, how do you figure out your niche?
Mm-hmm.
And like you just basically summarized, it's not necessarily finding what your niche is, but I guess focusing on the things that you're passionate and excited about. And then you're going to be able to create good copy for those things because you have a passion for it.
That's exactly right.
So how do you find a copywriter that has that passion? How do you even know if they like writing to begin with and they're not just another chucklehead who said, hey, I'm going to write cool copy?
You know, that's the thing that makes it extraordinarily difficult because so many copywriters are scared shitless to dial in their niches, to specialize. There is plenty of room for all of us who are talented copywriters. Look, I know more talented copywriters than I can throw a duck at. But, you know, the thing is that some of us are good at tech copywriting. Some of us are good at copywriting for metaphysical audiences. Some of us are good at copywriting for corporate audiences. And then and beyond that is where you have that passion and where you have the passion and talent intersect, and there's a need for it. And again, of course, I have to throw in Naval Ravikant's fourth element, which is luck. Don't try me. That gives you the basis for a good career where you can really help your clients a lot. You're not going broad and helping tons and tons of clients in different industries. You're helping a small number of clients really, really succeed in their fields.
And Hannah, you've been able to do that and really help some of these very, very specific and in-tune clients truly connect with what they're trying to do and the audience that they're trying.
Wow, says Alan Watts. He says that life is all squiggly. It doesn't work like that. It's always going to be a process of trying to reshape and refit. For me, when I work best shifts. Sometimes, for a few weeks, it'll be late at night. And then that'll evaporate, and then I'll pick it back up, maybe be able to do it mid-morning, and just being fluid with that. Things get in the way. COVID gets in the way. People get locked down for months on end. It happens. And so it is tough to deal with those disruptions and keep it all managed. But as far as staying visible, you're looking at it. I mean, this is really it. I mean, this is my daily, contribution to society and edutainment and whatever else. And beyond that, I don't really worry too much about it because, I don't have to because people dig this stuff. And fitting everything else in has become easier because I've been able to cut down a lot of the other social media and screwing around on Instagram and Facebook and keeping up on all these platforms where the people aren't really my target audience.
And that's something that's very important, knowing your target audience. Unlike the Big Show on Netflix, which I understand that you guys have very conflicting views about. So if your target audience was copywriters, they really screwed up. Let's sound off on it.
Go ahead, Hannah.
What? I
haven't even seen it.
You had a lot more to say about it. Okay, so my approach to whatever I watch on Netflix is most of it has to make me laugh. Because I'm very, I don't know if emotionally sensitive is the term, or I've been described as having very high emotional intelligence, but that also makes me very sensitive to content that I consume. And so I don't watch thrillers because literally those have me on the edge of my seat and my heart beating in my chest as if I'm the character.
Not that thriller?
You're right, exactly. And so yeah, I usually watch quirky and weird comedies on Netflix because I feel like there's already too much craziness going on in my mind, I'm gonna have entertainment that helps me to escape all of that.
And we will jump right back to your regularly scheduled interruption. But first, we got to stop the show and say hello. One of my favorite responsibilities. We have jumping in with us, Mr. Kevin McDowell. And I'll say it like always. How's it going, brother? My favorite McDowell that is not family. I don't know. The name puns are just great. Charlie noticed it earlier. I'm a punny guy. Anyways, we also have VJ Niles jumping in saying, hey, guys. Hey, how's it going? Hope you're having a tremendous, tremendous day today. And then Matthew Perkins saying, Hannah, you are on camera. Matthew,
yes,
where's the huzzah? Huzzah to Matthew.
Yeah.
Hope you're having a great day, man. And those are our hellos that we get to go through before we jump back to the Big Show on Netflix and what we love and hate. Hannah loves to be entertained. She loves to laugh, enjoy life, and has a lot of emotional intelligence, so she can connect with things and doesn't like to watch thrillers, which I personally can't do any sort of horror. I will literally leave the room. I can't do it because like I get myself into that mentality, you know, when you're watching a movie and you're like, you're like, what if I was in that world? Well, horrors are terrible. Anyways, Lee, the Big Show. Hate it? I know. Why?
No, not necessarily. It just, first of all, I mean, to see the Big Show, we've seen the Big Show at some point. I know we've seen his skyscraper ass lumbering down the thing somewhere along the line. But, he's this big, rough, 7-foot tall wrestler who's roughly the size of a city block. And they've thrown him in the middle of this little cheesy sitcom and just was like, ta-da, a show. And I'm like really, really shocked. Just we sat through one episode for it. It was like mildly and gently amusing in the way that, sitting and watching Daffodils is amusing. But like, I'm really, really surprised that Disney didn't just be like, all right, Netflix, you need to give us back our script. Like, we've used this 1,000 times. This is ours. It was what it really was. It was just the whole thing was just ripped straight out of Disney's underwear drawer, and it just
you're right about that though. It was very Disney-esque.
Yeah,
Disney has a very large underwear drawer. Did you know that Disney actually like anything that their employees make while they are employed with Disney, like just goes and is owned by Disney? So they have a giant smut vault of their artists who have just drawn like a bunch of lewd stuff, and it becomes property of Disney. So. Somewhere out there's a huge Disney smut vault.
The vault of Disney smut.
Oh, yeah.
If it lasts long enough, I'm sure we'll have a good laugh over it.
Oh, my goodness. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Oh,
well, I mean, is it a good thing? I guess
their artists are paid a lot of money or something.
You don't have to pay somebody a whole lot to take their work, unfortunately, but we're not going to get into corporate intellectual property rights here because I'll get on a soapbox and nobody wants that.
Yeah, right. So really my point with this is just that, look, this is what entertainment's come to on Netflix and Hulu and wherever the hell else is like, we're like really just slapping together bottom of the barrel shows just to say we're putting out new stuff. But you have an alternative, dang it. And that is this. And
yes.
I'm excited about this, and I'm excited about what we're doing with it. And we're providing an alternative to having to watch the Big Show lumber around pretending to be cute.
And by the way, guys, everybody out in the audience, I just found those Miley pictures of Lee, and I'm uploading them now, and they're even better than I remember. Man, let me tell you, these are classic.
You're gonna show it on screen?
Oh, absolutely. I'm not gonna let everybody suffer and have to get it via email. No, we'll hop in. And
all right. Well, while you're working on that for real quick, I would like to introduce you to a little video I call "Making Pasta After Doing 4 Lines of Coke." Thank you.
Oh, wow. That was a really quick pasta making session there. Yeah, I can see that.
Getting back to whatever we were talking about. All right, we're done with the Big Show thing. Are you done? Can we agree to disagree? I think it sucks.
Yeah, we can agree to disagree.
Okay.
We just did it respectfully, and that, people, is how you disagree.
You know what that deserves? That deserves a Lee Haw.
No.
Lee Haw!
I'm actually all right.
Yes! Yes, we got the Lee Haw.
Okay, I
I've
didn't
never
know
done a
about the
cowboy
Lee Haw.
thing in my life. I should not be able to do that.
Shout out to Christopher Nesbitt for having that absolutely brilliant idea.
Oh.
Christopher, you know what? You deserve a Yosemite Sam.
Ow! My biscuits are burning! Fire in the hatch!
Oh, did we have the volume? I didn't hear the volume.
We had it.
Because I played it.
I
That's
heard it.
awesome. So, guys, it is 5:11, which means we are coming up to one of my favorite sections, Final Thoughts. But I did make a promise out here to the audience to show them the lovely Wrecking Ball Lee photos. And I can't remember, did I get all 5 comments that I wanted? So
I
that
thought
we
it was
can...
3.
Oh, yeah, we got 3, but I wanted 5, and I'd show all 3 of them. If not, I'm sure we will get them. So, anyways, without further ado, I'm going to show all 3 because I uploaded all 3. Do we do Lee with a hammer, Lee on the wrecking ball, or Lee kissing the hammer?
Yeah.
Definitely Lee kissing the hammer.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, I threw a wish in the well, but don't ask me. I'll never tell.
Yeah, but yeah,
That's
we'll
a Carly
save
Rae
the
Jepsen reference. We will save the rest for another day. Man, I wanted to show them so bad. I love all the Lee puns. It's absolutely amazing what we can do with it.
Before we circle back to anything, there was a comment earlier that I want to make sure that we hit before this thing goes because it just stuck in my mind. And this is kind of way back with Charlie Powers says, and it takes at least 10,000 hours to become an expert. And I wanted to hit on that because I had a conversation with a gentleman named Matt Joran a few years ago, and he was talking about that concept. And he said, yes, okay, it takes 10,000 hours to be an expert, but it takes a heck of a lot less time to be better than your competitors.
Oh, yeah.
So I guess that's where I'm looking at that. That may be true. I don't know. But, I think his point was that you could be better than everybody else and not have to put in that kind of time.
And by the way, 10,000 hours, guys, if you're working a 40-hour work week, that's only 250 weeks.
Okay.
Okay.
So it just means that you've got 5 years if you want to be an expert. Don't think it happens overnight. You can crush your competition, but you will not be an expert. That's something that you learn. It happens. It grows. As long as you are better than your competition, which if you know what they're doing, you can do it much better, you will be very good.
Okay.
Anything you can do, I can do better.
Where does that come from?
I don't know. There's some song that goes like that, right?
There is. First one to name it gets a cup when we get them made.
First what?
First person to name whatever the heck the song where the song that came from, we'll give them one of our branded cups when we get them made.
Yes, that's like literally the only thing that I want made for merchandise is the color changing coffee mugs so that you can bow tie up with us. That's my one push.
All right.
I can't write. I can't do that. It's for the audience.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, for all of our lovely people. Why did I point to Lee? Our lovely people out here to comment the name of that song, and we will get you a cup once we get them.
Yeah, because now I'm curious.
Me too.
Yeah, we've got to know. All right, we've got like 6 minutes to wrap this show up. So what do you want to do with this, Alex?
Dude, we can do final thoughts if we all take 2 minutes. We can do a
2 minutes on final thoughts.
Oh, you're not going to make me do more math, are you?
Oh no, we're not gonna make you do more math.
Okay.
Should we cover the Golden Sea? We haven't done that in a while.
If you want, I can tell the story of how Belize was discovered.
Ooh.
Even better. Yeah. Hannah, you're on the spot.
Let's roll with that. We'll take her full screen. There you go.
So what had happened was, in the 1500s, Columbus rolled up in his boat. Wait, no, he floated in his boat and he came to discovered Central America. Air quotes, discovered. And the Mayas were here and he was like, yo, this is for Spain. They were like, nah, dude, get away. And then they fought and a lot of Mayas fled to the north in Mexico. Some went to Guatemala. A lot of them died because Europeans brought sickness here. And then that's how this area was discovered. Initially, Belize, this area was called the Bay of Honduras. And what the Spaniards did was, after like trying to conquer the Mayas and converting them and all of that, during that process, they extracted a tree here called logwood, and they used that to make a dye. It was like at that time in history where everyone's clothes was like super dark and black. So that's what they did. And then what happened was, like, while they were taking all that logwood back to Spain, British pirates were like, yo, there's good stuff on the Bay of Honduras. And they started robbing the Spanish ships. And eventually they just came to Belize. And because of that, basically the British just took Belize from the Spaniards. And then after that point, there were like several disputes between the Spanish and the British over who had the rights to Belize. And eventually in 1798, the British had this battle called the Battle of St. George's Key on September 10th. And they won that battle with the help of the African slaves that they brought here.
Wow.
So, yeah, pretty messed up. So that's how the Bay of Honduras became British Honduras, which later became Belize, located in Central America. And for those of you that don't know, Central America is in the middle of North and South America.
What about North America, also known as Canada? What do we do with that?
We don't want none of it.
We got Alaska, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, our American history is not nearly as glamorous as they tell you it is in American schools. Totally not propaganda whatsoever. Like to leave out convenient details. Don't we all? So after we showed the Lee picture to the audience, I have to say everybody loves it, man. It's like top hit. Matthew says, "Oh, that's rough." LMAO. BJ now says, "I can't unsee that." Charlie, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 laughing emojis, which that is absolutely incredible. Jeff was eating, and he did not need to see that picture. You could have closed your eyes, Jeff. Michael says that, or excuse me, Matthew said, "Would you say it was leet sauce?" Ha, Lee pun, love it. And then, no, that was all the Lee comments, as they say, but it is 5:18, which means that we now have a better understanding of where the heck Central America is and how Belize was discovered, why gurus may or may not be the best thing to brand yourself as, because there's 6.1 million of them out there, and the Big Show, and how it, either you love it or hate it on Netflix, or maybe you haven't seen it. So that brings us to our absolutely best part of Final Thoughts. You guys know how it works. We get 30 seconds, a minute and a half, or however long we please to talk about what's on our mind for the day. And Hannah, as our honored guest, you get to go first. We'll throw you in full screen again for the lasting impression that you want to leave our lovely viewers with.
Well, I don't even need the entire minute and a half, because as I said earlier, and it's not even my quote, true mastery is the pursuit of excellence. And Alan Sang said that. I really hope I'm pronouncing his name right. But anyway, so if you're good at what you do, then let your work speak for itself, and your work will speak for itself, and your clients will speak for you, and use that in your copy as well.
I love that. Your work will speak for itself, and your clients will speak for your work.
Ooh, that's good. I should save that.
You're the one who said it.
Yeah, right.
So, and put that one in the Hannah bucket.
Yes.
Well done. I took the last Final Thoughts yesterday, so I'll let Lee lead us out as he throws a duck in the ducket bucket, which love the ducket bucket, by the way. That's here to stay.
Okay.
But taking myself on to final thoughts here, and I know that it's been a lot of fun today to have Hannah with us and to just have a conversation about copy, about middle America, Central America. Wow, Alex, way to go. So, guys, a lot's going on in the world, and we hope that we've been able to provide you some quality education and entertainment from your 4 to 5 p.m. range. And as we're jumping off here and wrapping things up to the close, just want to say to be a better person today than you were yesterday. Do one good thing for somebody else. Work on work that's meaningful. Up-level your skills and learn something new. If you don't know what skill to learn, find somebody who does something that's fascinating, like taking awesome pictures or painting or maybe game development, and go seek out the resources to be able to learn it. Focus on that. Do one little small step to learning a new skill every day. Make it measurable, and you are going to have incredible, incredible success in the long term with that. Put your thought and energy into it. Be a decent person and a decent human being. Don't be a craphead right now. It's just not the time. Nobody has the patience for it. So it's a good opportunity to be a decent human being and to make the world a little bit better of a place.
Well said. Amazing job, Alex. Amazing job. You've done well with the Kumbayas, and I appreciate you. And Hannah, thank you so much for coming on this show. And we've had a great time, I think. And it's every show's a little bit different, and I've really liked how this one's wound around. And I also want to say, because I've been itching to get to this, that we've got our first musical guest ever over the Monday show. That's April 20th for no reason whatsoever. We're having our first musical guest. Her name is Jillian Riscoe, Riscoe. Go check out her website. It's jillianriscoe.com. She's a fantastic vocalist. We're looking forward to having her on the show, and she is tickled to be coming on the show and performing live for all of us. So, guys, if you could spread the word, I'd really love to get a lot of eyeballs on this episode, because we're trying to help showcase musicians and artists who don't have the reach that they should have in this time, and help them get in front of more people. And so, of course, we're going to let them pimp their merch and do tip jars and things like that, too. But just really their heart is in playing and performing. And so we want to bring that to the audience and keep building that. So thank you for sticking with us and listening to this long final thought that's just gone into the ether. But be sure to tune in on Monday, because it's going to be a really cool show.
And just to shout out Jillian a little bit, I had the opportunity to check out her music earlier, and she has a cover of Zombie by the Cranberries. That's absolutely excellent. Highly recommend checking her out. Yeah. And we'll drop a link in the comments. Wow, as I point to Lee, one of these days I will get the pointing right. Drop a comment over here for you fine individuals to be able to get the link to her music, because it's awesome, and we're going to be starting to support those small local artists. So be prepared for some new things coming. Absolutely. Hey, and yo.
Whenever you want to point at the audience in the comment section, just think about your door. Point to your door. Yes.
Yeah, I can do that. Door,
point
desk.
Door,
desk.
Wait a minute.
Desk
door,
Lee.
comments, and then Lee's on the other side.
Over here, Lee? Pointing out, apparently it's been brought to our attention that there has not been a mango bomb.
I know. Mango is with Sam. And Sam is not with me, so I don't get my mango bomb today. I haven't had a mango bomb for the day. It actually leaves me really sad. I freaking hate it when I don't have my son here. That's why I work so late, though, to make it so that my son can't always be here.
Okay.
So yeah,
we will infuse as many mango bombs as possible. I'm quite sure.
Oh, we definitely will. That's my favorite part of the day too.
Yeah, for sure.
And thank you all for joining us on Bow Tie Up Live. We will see you fine individuals on Monday.